Hi DVC fan, Paul and Amy here, and we are going to show you a tour of a room category we've actually never been in until today. This is a one bedroom at the Villas at Disney's Grand Floridian. All of our content is brought to you by the world of DVC, DVC Resale Market, where you can buy and sell that Grand Floridian contract, Monera Financial, who can help you finance, and the DVC Rental Store, where you can try before you buy or rent out your own points. We are in a standard one-bedroom villa. We are in the third travel season. It is a Saturday, so the points for tonight were 46 points. You can get this room for as low as 31 points a night, but it does go as high as 75 points a night. It's worth noting that the Villas at Grand Floridian did finish up a soft good refurb in 2022. When you first walk into this villa, you have a foyer. If you did have a two-bedroom lock-off, you're going to find the door to the studio right in the entrance. Across from the lock-off door, we have a hallway. Interesting enough, you could run circles around this villa because it connects to the bathroom, to the bedroom, and beyond. But what we have are some closets. This is where you are going to find your washer and dryer. And then next to that, we do have an entry closet where you have an ironing board, iron, some space to hang, and a basket. This is actually one of my favorite one bedrooms I've been in. So as soon as you walk into the kitchen space, we've got this small little bar area. It's mostly empty, so storage space. If you have some food that you buy, you do have some utensils in one of the drawers. The other drawer is empty. This is also going to be where you find your recycling bin. We have this great space for seating. We love the bench seating. It definitely will fit a decent amount of people. We mentioned previously that this did have a refurbishment, but it was a soft good. So those are things like upholstery, bedding, carpeting, also maybe the curtains, but the hard goods, we do notice some wear and tear on those. For example, this is an older table. It's got some scratches on it. It will not be swapped out until we do a hard goods refurbishment. I thought it was interesting. It's a clawfoot table. It reminds me of that table that Paul's grandma had. There's a decent amount of space and storage space and countertop space in this kitchen. So we have multiple cabinets, and in them you're going to find things that you would need. This one is just wine glasses. We have a dishwasher below here. And then one thing I've never seen in a DVC resort, we have a farmhouse sink. We've got the Keurig Duo, which seems to be going into most villas. Your toaster throughout here are where you're going to find your serving dishes, your glasses, and things like that. And then below here, we have some additional pots and pans and things that you might need to cook. You do want to be a little careful opening these drawers. You can definitely only open one at a time. Appliance wise, we've got your microwave and then your glass top stove. I do want to mention I opened the recycling spot earlier and unsuccessfully tried to pull it out. Your trash is over here. You have to pull from the bottom and then it slides right out from that drawer. And then this is one of the more unique fridges that we've seen in a villa. So it is like a French door refrigerator. It does have a decent amount of space, but then it's actually got two freezer drawers. There is no ice maker. It's worth noting there are ice trays in here if you need them. Grand Floridian is actually one of the very, very few resorts that offer currently room service, so food delivered directly to your room. There is no menu here. It's just a card that you scan the QR code and they will deliver breakfast or dinner. It's worth noting lunch is not an option. It is pretty much the menu from the Grand Floridian Cafe. We have a smart TV, and because of that, these spaces that used to hold the DVD player, they're pretty much obsolete. There's nothing underneath there. If you store something there, just don't forget that it's there. And then this piece of furniture also has your fifth sleeper. And then when we pull it down, you'll notice that they carry a Mary Poppins theme throughout this resort. So she's actually hiding over there in this artwork. The carpeting in here is the exact same pattern colors that we have out in the hallway of the hotel itself. And then this is your living area. We've got a chair and then we have our couch, which also is going to be a Murphy bed. So we'll pull that down in a second. And then on each side of the Murphy bed couch, we have end tables and they actually have one big deep drawer each. It looks like two, but when you pull it out, it's just one deep drawer for storage. And then you're going to find a Hey Disney also over here. Just pulling the coffee table out of the way so we can pull the Murphy bed down. And this coffee table has definitely seen better days. And that is the theme that we're noticing with a lot of the hard goods woodwork, including the floor in this villa. One thing we noticed that was not upgraded as part of the soft goods refurbishment is the charging situation. So throughout this entire living room, there is one spot to charge your devices. It is this older outlet right here on the wall. And we noticed that also there's a light switch on the Murphy bed. You doesn't even turn anything on because the lamps and the Hey Disney and the phone are taking up the plugs over there. We pulled down the Murphy bed. It is continuing that Mary Poppins theme. We've got the penguins over there. It's like a dream scene. There is a light switch, but like we said, it doesn't work. We figured there's nowhere for it to be plugged in. So just be aware there are end tables, but there's no charging over here near the bed. One thing in this room that's really easy to overlook and to miss is that over here behind the kitchen seating, we have two drawers. So if you do need some storage in this room, you've got two drawers over here to use. Walking into the main bedroom, we do have an armchair in here. And then we've got a king size bed. This is an older king bed, so there is no space underneath of it to slide your luggage. And then we're used to seeing the newer headboards with the built-in lighting, so we don't have that here. On one side of the bed, we have this round, pretty simple nightstand with a lamp. There is one outlet not being used by the lamp that you can charge with. We've got some really interesting mirrors here. They're an interesting part of the decor. The little hanging things, unique. But one thing that I really do love about this room, about the whole Grand Floridian original villas, it sets it apart, is it does have a lot of very beautiful crown molding features. We also have a tray ceiling here. And so I love all that. It helps kind of elevate it. On the other side of the king bed, we have a larger nightstand. I did peek behind it and there was a 4 set of outlets and only one's being used by the lamp. So you can charge there, not upgraded with the USBs and USB-C, but it is there. And then this nightstand does have some built-in storage. So we've got 3 drawers that you can keep things in. All right, we've got a smart TV in this main bedroom, and then this is going to be your dresser. So we've got a decent amount of drawers. Some are bigger and then smaller ones on the end. And then we notice next to this desk space, they do have an upgraded charging outlet center that we've got 2 regular plugs and then 2 USB. But then what we thought was really kind of funny was that over here on the other side, there are 12 outlets, with one being used by a lamp. That's a lot of outlets in one spot. One of the best features of this villa is this large walk-in closet that you have off of the main bedroom. So this is where you're going to find your safe. We've got some extra pillows and blankets. There are 2 luggage racks. Grand Floridian is one of the few resorts that provides robes that you can use. And then one thing I also thought was really interesting is there is what I believe is a pack and play over here too. There's one large, kind of a 2-part bathroom in this villa. It is accessible from both the main bedroom and then out here you can access it from the hallway. When you first walk into this space, you have this large soaking tub. It is a jetted tub. There are some dials, some buttons over here on the side. And then across from that, we have a very large countertop single sink. We do not have the fancy mirror like they have in the studio where you have the TV in there. If you are looking for some privacy, there are a variety of doors throughout this space closing off, from the main bedroom. You can also close off one bathroom from the other section. But it is important to note that if you need to use a toilet, there is only one. It is not closeted like you typically see in DVC villas. So it's in the same room here with the shower. We do have a second sink in this second part of the split bathroom, so a lot of countertop space. Both sinks had some storage drawers as well. And then behind me here, after the toilet, you are going to find your walk-in shower. This is a really good size shower. It's got a rainfall shower head. It's also got the detachable one with a bench. And then if Paul turns around here, you're also going to find some space to store any toiletries along with the toiletry pumps. These are the older pumps, so they're not the updated ones. And then to come full circle, this is the entranceway out of the bathroom into the hall where we originally started. We are on the first floor. Our little patio balcony, it expands from the main bedroom through the living room. There are doors off of both the main bedroom and the living room. We are facing out front here, so we can see the spa and the porte cochere. But one thing I have noted is this is a monorail view. So even though it's not going by yet, when it does go by, it's right out of our window. There are 2 chairs and a table out here. They are the older metal, kind of uncomfortable chairs, but they're starting to sort of replace those and have nicer chairs as the refurbishments go on. So hopefully eventually, but this is a really nice size balcony. There's a lot of space. I'm surprised there's only 2 chairs out here instead of maybe 4 since it is a 1-bedroom. That's going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the DVC Fan YouTube channel. You can join in the conversation in the DVC Fan Facebook group. For bonus content, check out our Patreon, patreon.com/DVCFan.